Yo, what's going on, guys? Gabriel Santos here. Been several days since I made a video. Feels good to be back in front of y'all. But today, little intro. I'm gonna run you through a session of me doing my own personal reflections, and the value here for you is to potentially see some insights and breakthroughs for you when it comes to your goals and creating the life you want, and hopefully getting more aligned with what you're truly after, right? Because a lot of times, how many times have you put a goal on your goals list, um, only for it to not come into fruition, and B, something just feels off. Something feels off, and as a sneak peek golden nugget, when we come from our ego, right? When we come from our mind, when we come from insecurity, the goals we create and our pursuit of them, there something's missing, something's lacking, right? There's we're missing the mark somewhere, right? But when we come from our heart, when we come from our soul, when we come from our truth, things seem to go a lot better. Okay, and I'll at least that's my experience, and so I'm gonna run you through an example of what that looks like right now, right? So we are gonna use the lovely whiteboard app here. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm recording, and I am. So, okay. So I'm trying to think of a goal that I think maybe a lot of people would relate to. I know that weed is a very common topic on this channel, but I'm going to change it to something that's more applicable to me. Okay. So, for example, I have a goal to be 12% body fat by August 31 of this year. All right, well, let me move myself real quick. Okay, and I made this goal. God dang it! I made this goal earlier. I don't know why that's not working, but I made this goal early June. Okay, so the start date was June. Okay, and we are now in July. And so, mind you, about 2 years ago, 2018, I was 12% body fat. Um, and I had a six pack, and I was just overall just like the most physically fit I'd ever been. And that was great, but I lost it, so to speak. I lost it, and eventually I was back to, like 20% body fat all throughout 2019. And it's been a struggle, been struggling um, to get back, really, to this place. And um, for whatever reason, been struggling to get back to that place for whatever reason. And something just kind of felt off, right? I could just sense, I've done a lot of inner work to just know myself that something felt off. Felt forced, and there was a lack of alignment somewhere, whether that was in my approach, whether that was in my thinking, whether it was in my belief systems. And in the last couple days, I've really been like reflecting and having breakthrough insights on what the hell this is all about. All right. So, turns out that the 12%, I'm going to switch to typing here in a second because it's faster. It turns out it's not so much about this, right? Like my ego was getting heavily attached to this outcome of 12% body fat. Like, so much strain, so much stress, so much desperation for this goal, for this result. And as I was diving deep as I was diving deep, reflecting, turns out it's not about the 12% body fat. Like, that's not really what I care about. That's not really what I'm looking for. 12% body fat is more so the symptom of the root cause that I'm looking to change / transform. Okay, and this is the key right here. It's not about the 12% body fat. It's more so about the root cause, the root change. Okay, so to expand on that a little more, the root cause is what I'm looking to actually address. And that, in my mind, will reflect itself into 12% body fat. Okay? But this is really the thing that needs to be addressed. The cause, the root. Okay, so what's the root? The question is, what's the root? What's the root? I really love this whiteboard, by the way. What's the root? Okay. The real root is my deep sense of self-shame, my deep sense of insecurity, my total, my sense of self-hate, my sense of self-shame again. And the way I'm getting these answers right here, guys and girls, is I'm really tapping into my body. And I'm feeling like, what is this about? I'm just intuitively feeling. And I don't even think that's a special gift that I have. I think people have that capacity, right? But a lot of times we're blocked. We're blocked energetically. And so that's why people hire coaches, they hire therapists, they hire some outside source, some type of more professional help to guide them through this process, okay? Anyway, so the root is just this deep sense of just self-shame, self-hate, and beating up myself, just like lack of self-acceptance, lack of self-care, lack of self-appreciation, and just so much of that, right? And the way that manifests itself on a very deep, okay, so at the end of the day, guys and girls, this is all just trauma energy, E for energy. All right, and trauma doesn't just have to be like, oh my gosh, some super big event. It could just be like the years and years of subtle self hate. Subtle. And this is all unconscious, by the way, okay? And what I mean by subtle is as simple as choosing to eat like shit for months instead of actually caring about my body, right? Put it this way, right? So I have a beta fish. His name's Falcor. Okay. Actually, no. I initially had a beta fish. His name was Roman. Okay. And he died. He died because I didn't feed him. He died because I didn't take care of maintaining his water. He died because I stopped caring about him. He died because there was no love and care and appreciation, no nurturing, okay? Whereas now, I have a new beta fish. His name is Falcor, and he's thriving, okay? I make it a priority to feed him. I make his health and vitality a must. I make sure his water is clean and changed often as needed, okay? And he's thriving because of it, okay? And so in a similar way, what I'm saying is that, you know, the trauma has us act in ways that, and where we don't care about ourselves, right? Because as kids, and I'm just kind of spitballing here, but this is all making sense to me intuitively. As kids, you know, as kids, we are dependent on our parents to take care of us, okay? We don't have that mature mind yet. But as we get older, we aren't empowered or taught really on how to take care of ourselves, okay? And so it becomes this personal journey where unless we proactively make it a point to do self-care, we're gonna be run by like subconscious motives, okay? Much of that being trauma, okay? Because what happens is people feel insecure, they feel insignificant, they feel not enough. And so from that place, they try and compensate through goals like 12% body fat, right? And that's kind of the next point here. I hope this is making sense. I hope this is like you're following here. Okay, so the breakthrough, whoops. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Okay, bear with me here, guys. The breakthrough, okay, so here's why it wasn't working. Okay. Ego, 12% body fat. Let's just start there for now. So the reason why this wasn't working, and what I mean is I had the goal, but I wasn't pursuing it fully. There was resistance. You know, instead of eating the right way, I'd go towards like pleasure foods, junk foods. Instead of exercising, I'd go for not. Right? And on the one hand, you could be like, well, I'm not disciplined, all that. But what I'm telling you is the breakthrough here. So the ego 12% body fat was like, I was using the facade of 12% body fat to compensate for my deep sense of shame, compensate for my deep sense of like self-hate, right? So from the ego, the pursuit of the 12% body fat was driven by the deep insecurity and lack of self-acceptance, right? Because my ego thinks once I have 12% body fat, I will be lovable. Once I am in shape, I will be respectable. People will like me. People will respect me. Right? And these are the limiting beliefs right here, but were deep in my subconscious. You know, being healthy makes me significant. Being healthy makes me worthy, right? And so on a deep level, what I'm saying here is, if I'm not healthy, I'm not worthy. If I'm not 12% body fat, I'm not respectable. or attractive or worth caring about. And this is some fucked up shit, right? Okay, so you can see how just just the horrible self-hating, self-judging energy is just all in this area, okay? And so now what's happened is from a place of like self-acceptance, from a place of self-acceptance and self-worth. Okay, I know that's just crappy right there. From a place of self-acceptance and self-worth, right? And not because I have 12%. From just really switching the gear from all this self-shame, subconscious self-shame, subconscious self-hate, and just really making this the name of the game for me, right? Okay. And so now it's no longer this attachment to 12%. It's more so just this vibe of self-acceptance and self-worth. And just like whether I'm fucking 20% body fat or 12 or 6 or 30, that at my deep core there is a sense of self-acceptance and self-worth. Now here's the thing. So now the question, see, now that I have all this shame stuff exposed, and so the real issue was the self-shame. My current body fat of 20% is just a reflection of the deeper cause root, which is the self-shame. All right? And so my theory is that the self-acceptance and the self-worth will naturally lower my body fat, right? Because the whole name of the game now is just like Falcor, right? My beta fish. My intent is to prioritize my health, to give a damn about my health, to give a fuck about myself, to actually like love myself. And I don't even mean that in a corny way. I just mean like, wow, like let's just stop this whole self-shaming like narrative. And just like, God, I am just happy. Like I don't need to be 12% before I don't need to be 12% body fat before I start like giving myself props just cuz. You know, caring about myself way before I'm at 12% body fat. Cuz it's that self-care and self-love that will lead to healthy choices and healthy bodies, right? Because self-care and self-love says basically this, like, at least for me, self-care and self-love says, you know, let's be in good shape, but let's not get all like ego-centered about it. You know, like let's be healthy, but let's not get all like braggy and conceited and like self-absorbed. You know, like let's nurture our bodies. Let's nurture the body, but not neglect like fun and reward and rest and relaxation and like pleasure. You know, like let's have a solid, you know, nutrition lifestyle, but not get all fucking like anal about, you know, like eating yummy shit and like living a little, you know, enjoying the pleasures and the indulgences of life, right? And let's be active and strong and have muscles, but let's not get all like egocentric about that, right? Let's, care about our physique and our appearance, but let's not get all like, what's the word, all pompous and loud, and like, let's not let physique and appearance be the like foundation of my self-esteem and my like sense of security and like wholeness. See what I'm saying, guys? I hope this makes sense. So basically, from the ego side, even if I was 12% body fat, what I'm saying is from the ego, it's like I'd still be insecure. Like I just would never ever be enough unless I address the true issue, which is all this lack of self-acceptance and this self-shame and the self-hate. Like it doesn't matter what the fuck body fat percentage I am, right? There's no way I could really cure this unless I did what I did, which is to fucking be like, oh my God, I didn't realize all this self-shame was there. And I was masking it I was trying to run away from it and compensate by being 12% body fat, right? But it's like, oh fuck, I didn't realize all this self-hate I had. Okay, let's just cut that out. Like, let's stop. Like, we are enough. Like, we're good. Like, dude, like, 12% body fat, 25% body fat, like I am worth it, like it's all good, like that, just really addressing that trauma and releasing it. And how I release that personally is through a lot of chakra work, honestly, because the body is what holds those traumatic emotions, right? And so in order to release those traumatic emotions, we have to do it through the body, right? Relaxing the muscles, relaxing the nervous system. My Lord. So that's basically it. So just to kind of recap here, the true issue was not 12% body fat. It was the deep self-hate and rejection. That was the real issue. This is the true issue. Okay? Oh crap. Didn't mean to do that. This was the true issue. Right here, guys. Okay? And so my way of healing that was releasing trauma. Solution. Releasing trauma in the body by opening chakras in the body, by releasing stress energy in the body, really diving deep in the trauma centers and releasing them. I can do a whole nother video on how I do that, but it's like a type of bioenergetics. I'm not going to go into that here. Okay, but my point is, once I found the true problem, which was deep self-hate and deep self-rejection, I could then approach it with the true solution, which is not 12% body fat. Going after 12% body fat is not the solution to deep self-hate and rejection. Okay, I had to release that. I had to release that first. And once I released the trauma, naturally all these solutions, true solutions, started coming up. Like, oh, okay, it's not that I'm after 12% body fat. It's I'm after just health, like actually giving a fuck about myself and my body and caring about my body. And naturally, caring about your body looks like eating well. And then naturally looks like, exercising my body, drinking water. And then naturally from there, with all those, with the intent being to care and nurture for myself and give a F about my body, that will naturally manifest itself into 12% body fat or whatever body fat it is, right? But the whole real truth is like, oh, I just want to like care about myself like I do my fish. Like, just make sure, like, have my health be a priority. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So that's it. I would love to know what, um, I would love to know what you guys learned from this little, reflection session here. Excuse the hair once again. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. I hope this was helpful. This was extremely empowering for me, at least this process when I did it last night for the first time. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, peace.